The STAR program has proudly recognized the state's best and brightest students and the teachers who nurtured and guided them. For the past 50 years, the program has acknowledged the academic accomplishments of more than 20,000 STAR students and their STAR teachers. STAR, which stands for Student Teacher Achievement Recognition, celebrates graduating seniors with the highest ACT score from each school, with minimum requirements of a 93 grade point average and a 25 ACT composite score. More than 300 private, public, and parochial schools submit a STAR student applicant each year. The STAR program provides valuable scholarships to the top honorees from the Kelly Jean Cook Senior Charitable Foundation Incorporated, which has supported our program for 20 years and contributed more than $1 million in scholarships. This year, more than 340 students have been awarded this prestigious honor. Please give a round of applause for our 2018-2019 class of STAR students and STAR teachers.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mississippi Economic Council Senior Vice President of Foundations, Vicki Powell.
Thank you. Today we want to thank the Kelly Jean Cook Foundation for providing $88,500 in scholarships and awards. For the past 20 years, the foundation has provided over $1.6 million in scholarships and awards. On stage, we have Katie Pacelli, Executive Director of the Kelly Jean Cook Senior Foundation, and members of the Cook Foundation are also with us today. Will you please stand? Deborah Rochelle, President of the Foundation, Joanne Michael, Secretary, and Carolyn Bost, Board Member. The second runner-up and winner of a $16,000 Kelly Jean Cook Foundation Scholarship is Julia L. Mitchell of St. Andrew's Episcopal School. Julia scored a 36 on the ACT, perfect subscores of 144 with a GPA of 98.17. Her STAR teacher is Donna N. Patrick. Our first runner-up from Lewisburg High School and winner of a $20,000 Kelly Jean Cook Senior Charitable Foundation Scholarship is Caleb C. Owens. Caleb scored a 36 on the ACT and a perfect sub-score of 144 with a 99.059 GPA. Caleb designated Kim Hallmark as his STAR teacher. And our overall Mississippi All-Star Scholar and winner of the $24,000 Kelly Jean Cook Foundation Scholarship is Clark I. Hensley. Clark is from Clinton High School with a perfect 36 ACT composite score, perfect combined scores of 144, 99.375 GPA. He chose Alexis Davis Williams as his STAR teacher. Congratulations to all of our 342 STAR students.
Again, congratulations to each of you. But at this time, Vicki said we've had 342 STAR students this year, our record number. But I want to give you a couple of stats that came from that. You know, to be a STAR student, you have to have at least a 25 on your ACT and a 93 grade point average. Of those students, we had 24 with a perfect 36, another 89 with a 35, and over 80% of the students scored 30 or above this year. A tremendous accomplishment. At this time, I would like to ask all STAR students who are in the back of the room, if you would please stand and let us recognize you. Ladies and gentlemen, these kids are our future. They're the ones that are going to be continuing to move our state forward. But they could not do it without the support of their teachers. At this time, if the STAR teachers could please rise and let us recognize you as well. Thank you for all the good work. Students, we look forward to seeing what happens next. I know it's going to be a great adventure as you move into your next phase of your education, and we look forward to you making a big contribution to our state here in Mississippi.
ACT, I have a 36 with perfect 144 sub-score. On SAT, I have a 1520. I took that for national merit.
What was your reaction when you were named the top STAR student in Mississippi?
I was very happy, also very surprised. I was just happy to be here. Nice to get recognized. I did not expect to, I didn't really expect to be in the top 20, much less be there.
What are your plans for college now and a career?
I'm planning to go to Mississippi State and study computer science. And after that, who knows?
I'm a teacher at Glenn High School, and I've taught Clark. I've known Clark for quite a number of years, but this is the first year I've taught him, and he is incredibly special and gifted, and so lucky I've been to be his teacher.
Tell me a little bit about the importance of the STAR student program throughout the state of Mississippi.
STAR student is the student with the highest ACT score, and these students often get overlooked and not recognized. And the STAR program has been taking that as their as their mission for a number of years. So important to take a moment to recognize and to appreciate the talent that we have in Mississippi.
We had a great time speaking to the STAR students and the STAR teachers. My message was thanking the teachers for what they do and thanking the students for their successes. There was almost 350 kids that were recognized today, over 100 of whom made either a 35 or a 36 on the ACT. What they have shown and proven is that they can compete with anyone in the world, and the Mississippians can win when they're competing.
What do you see with this as being a business group, your message regarding economic development as Mississippi moves forward?
Well, job creation is our #1 focus. It's got to be our #1 focus. We got to bring more and better paying jobs into our state. That's something that we've been working on and that we're going to continue to work on.
What role does MEC play in public policy in Mississippi?
Mississippi Economic Council plays a vital role in public policy in Mississippi because they recognize the issues that are important to small businesses and large businesses alike. And so when Mississippi Economic Council sits down with our state leaders, we listen.
I talk about education being so important, and to see these children excelling and striving to be successful, it's just amazing. To have over 300 students recognized as STAR students in the state of Mississippi for their academic successes is just truly incredible.
And how did education play a role in you becoming Miss Mississippi?
It played a huge role. Of course, they look into your transcripts and your academics, and I graduated high school with over 4.0 GPA as a Mississippi Scholar, Hall of Fame, honor graduate, so I took my academics very seriously, and it's definitely paid off.
The STAR program has proudly recognized the state's best and brightest students and the teachers who nurtured and guided them. For the past 50 years, the program has acknowledged the academic accomplishments of more than 20,000 STAR students and their STAR teachers. STAR, which stands for Student Teacher Achievement Recognition, celebrates graduating seniors with the highest ACT score from each school, with minimum requirements of a 93 grade point average and a 25 ACT composite score. More than 300 private, public, and parochial schools submit a STAR student applicant each year. The STAR program provides valuable scholarships to the top honorees from the Kelly Jean Cook Sr. Charitable Foundation, Incorporated, which has supported our program for 20 years and contributed more than $1 million in scholarships. This year, more than 340 students have been awarded this prestigious honor. Please give a round of applause for our 2018-2019 class of STAR students and STAR teachers. In 1949, 300 forward-thinking Mississippi leaders gathered at the Heidelberg Hotel in Jackson, determined to bring the business community together and improve economic opportunities in this state and the quality of life for its citizens. That meeting led to the formation of the Mississippi Economic Council, a group focused on enacting transformational change for our state. Since that day, MEC, the state's Chamber of Commerce, has worked diligently and tirelessly to unify members statewide and develop a business climate for success. The task has been challenging and never-ending, but MEC members have remained committed to the cause. In fact, 7 decades later, nearly 90 of the original charter members remain active in MEC today. Focusing on broad-based, bipartisan initiatives and a united business front, MEC has led the charge for legislative change in public education, tort reform, transportation funding, workforce enhancement, and other important issues facing our state. MEC continues to be the voice of business. The organization is stronger than ever as we work together to provide a strong and sustainable economy. With more than 11,000 members across the state, MEC works to shrink the miles between our citizens and bring leaders together for a common agenda: to move Mississippi forward. Since taking office in 2012, Governor Phil Bryant has championed Mississippi and its businesses with unbridled fervor. Governor Bryant has led our state to great economic success, implementing transformational public education reforms, enhancing transportation infrastructure, and building a competitive business climate that has attracted major companies to the Magnolia State while encouraging existing companies to expand. Under Governor Bryant's leadership, more than 36,000 new jobs have been announced. Mississippi's GDP and per capita income have grown nearly 12%. There have been $7.4 billion in new corporate investments, 232 business expansions, and 100 new companies choosing to call Mississippi home. These milestones, along with historically low unemployment rates and high school graduation rate of 84%, illustrate how Mississippi under Governor Bryant means business. MEC salutes the dedication and passion that Governor Phil Bryant and First Lady Deborah Bryant have shown to our state for the past 8 years. And to them we say, thank you for a job well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 64th Governor of the great state of Mississippi, Phil Bryant.
Well, good afternoon. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know you needed that stretch. It's amazing to think how quickly time has passed. Almost 8 years now. And Deborah and I began on this journey. I'm sorry she's not here today. She had made a promise to be in Raleigh, Mississippi, and you know Deborah, she keeps a promise. She said, besides, I've heard you before. Yeah, she has. What a remarkable job she has done. We've had great first ladies, but I can tell you, I love this one. So yeah, MEC, it's been a while. I got involved in the 1990s. I know I don't look that old, but I think I was there before Blake got here. I remember Blake invited me my first speech at MEC to talk about this new thing called a website. Yeah, we had just created one. I was state auditor then, and we didn't have a website. We didn't have a portal, and we created one, and Blake couldn't find anybody else to speak, and he said, well, I'll just get the state auditor, and like most people, he was surprised that I knew that much about IT and how we were going to do paperless audits, and we did, and how now in the state of Mississippi, if you look at Mississippi Works, an award-winning app that the rest of the country now wants. I love to go to national governors meetings now, and they talk about workforce development, and they say, well, how do you keep up with the number of jobs in Mississippi? You always know exactly how many openings you have. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Pull out that iPhone. Mississippi Works. Says, where'd you get that? We made it. Oh yeah, even our apps win awards in Mississippi. And then, of course, education. MEC has been at the forefront of education since as long as anyone can remember. And Blake and Jim Barksdale and Dr. Lori Smith came into my office as lieutenant governor and said, we really got this new idea about early childhood education. It's called building blocks. Well, let's get started. And a lot of you were a part of that, supporting building blocks. And now as we move forward, as I was in Washington yesterday, as I spoke last night to the Reagan Institute. Yeah, last night I had to sleep fast, get up real early this morning to make it back here, but I wasn't going to miss this. Not my last MEC. Well, it won't be my last, but last as governor. But as I was so honored last night to speak to the Reagan Institute on education in Mississippi, and being chairman of the Education Commission of the states, telling them how we won the Frank Newman Award, which is the Heisman Trophy for public education, telling them how our third graders went from passing their reading exam from 48% when I came into office, and last time they took their reading exam, third graders, 94% of them passed that test. That's real numbers and real futures. How now we have more children graduating from high school than any time in Mississippi's history. 84% of our students, and we're almost there, 84% now on the national average are graduating from high school. See, that's never happened before. It's happening now. You heard about those 35,000 jobs. Those are jobs that we helped work with the private sector to create through MDA and through our members of the Mississippi legislature that's always been there with us. Every time I go to them and say, I've got another company coming in and I need your help, they step up. It is a bipartisan issue. Economic development, creating jobs. It's not Democrat, not Republican. Every one of them step up. What some remarkable things that have happened. Glenn McCullough and his team at MDA, they've helped create with the private sector those 35,000 jobs, but there's 82,000 more people working today than were working the day I took office. We put a lot of people to work. That's a good thing. Working right here in Mississippi, unemployment's the lowest that it's ever been, 4.7%. It was about 9.4% when I came into office. I didn't do all of these things. I like to brag about it because you don't get to hear the good things about Mississippi. People in Washington, the Reagan Institute calls and says, why don't you come and talk to us because we hear good things about Mississippi. I don't know how it got out, but it's getting out. They're hearing the great things that are happening because of the people in large part in this room. People in this room and those star students back there. Lex and I were talking about making a 35 on the ACT. I think if you doubled mine, I'd get to 34 maybe. Amazing. But these star students and their teachers, that's what makes Mississippi great. Governors come and go. Yeah, but those star students and those teachers and what you do, MEC, it stays. What you're able to help us do in the Mississippi legislature is we go in and just this year, the Landowner Protection Act, how important that is. You see, every time I go talk to a company now, I can say you don't get penalized just because you own property in Mississippi. We're going to help protect you. Mississippi Infrastructure Modernization Act, $200 million every year more, $200 million more going into infrastructure every year. how we're leading in healthcare now. You know, we've got a new medical school. I hear it's a pretty nice one. We got a medical city down in Harrison County at Traditions. We're about to make another huge announcement in addition to that, where there's a brand new pharmacy school, new physicians, the Cleveland's Clinic Obesity and Diabetes Research Center, all of it there. The Mississippi Gulf Coast Nursing Center that'll have about 6,000 students in it. It's a medical city. We just went out in the middle of the piney woods and said, we're going to build a medical city right here because we can. And we're doing it. Great things happen in this state. Talent. How about these young ladies you just heard? Isn't that Mississippi? Didn't you just kiss me in Mississippi? How cool is that? I want one of those t-shirts. Yeah, I'm wearing that everywhere I go. How wonderful this place is. How fortunate it is that 5 years after the founding of this great organization, there's a little boy born in Moorhead, Mississippi. Dad was a diesel mechanic. Mom's parents farmed the land. Grew up with 2 older brothers. Now that's a character builder, 2 older brothers. But the opportunities that young country boy had are amazing. Because of this wonderful state, that young man one day became governor of the state of Mississippi. That's the amazing part about this hospitality state that we live in. But the success is not that of the governor or the legislature, or the senators, House members. It's the success of the people. The people of the state of Mississippi will these great things to happen. They allow us in these public offices to do their work. As the sovereigns of this state, they empower us with the ability to join with you in moving this great state forward. So I want to thank you. It's been an amazing time. Now, about the first of the year, Deborah and I are going to try to figure out how to pack up what we've got left. There's going to be a truck pull up, and about the next day, maybe the 4th or 5th of January, I'm going to be homeless and unemployed. And loving it. People ask me sometimes, don't you wish you could run again? I said, look, if you want to do this job more than 8 years, you need to see somebody about that. We're going to finish strong. We're going to work to the last day. We're going to make you proud. We're going to continue to make Mississippi great, because that's the wonderful honor that I have of being governor of the greatest state in America. MEC, thank you so much for what you have done for this remarkable state we call home. God bless you all. 5 minutes this time.
Governor, in your time, I'm sure you've given hundreds of proclamations. We just want to take a moment to give one to you and say thank you for all you've done. Your service to this state, not only as governor, lieutenant governor, state auditor, legislature. We were talking this morning. It's been long, and it's been sincere, and it's made a difference. And thank you so very much.
Thank you, Scott. Blake, you left it in good hands. This guy's doing a great job.
And I have one other quick thing I would like to give you.
Yes, sir.
For the First Lady.
This was for her.
We're going to make a contribution in her honor to the Mississippi Center for Medically Fragile Children.
She'll love it.
And I'd like for you to give that to her.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. It's sentimental for me. I began working with this organization back in the 1990s when Blake Wilson asked me as state auditor to come and make a speech, and they've been such a great help, not only with public education, the areas that we've been able to work in, the Education Works app, and Mississippi Works app. They were the first that came to me about early childhood learning, and so the Building Blocks program began. Working this year with the Mississippi Infrastructure Modernization Act, so we put $1 billion in infrastructure over the next 5 years. Every time we call on MEC, they are always there. They are providing jobs and helping this state grow like none other.
You mentioned jobs. Tell us a little bit about the growth that has occurred in jobs in Mississippi and where the state ranks compared to other states.
Yeah, it's been remarkable. We've got about 80,000, really 82,000 more jobs now than the day I took office. So our unemployment rate's about 4.7%. It was 9.4% when I came into office. So there's about 35,000 of those were created by new companies, about 100 new companies that we brought to Mississippi in the last 8 years. So we're competing with all of the states, and I think in many cases we are winning. Our educational system now is graduating more students from high school than ever before. About 84% of our students are now graduating from high school. Most of them are going into workforce development programs or higher education. So Mississippi is trending in the right direction.
And your reaction to MEC and their role in developing public policy in the state?
Well, we couldn't live without them. I mean, this is the state chamber of commerce. So when they come to the legislature, people listen. When they go to Washington, our senators and congressmen pay attention. It's vitally important to continue to have this leadership organization there and working. It makes my job a lot easier, and it makes Mississippi a lot better.
Oh, very excited. I think it was a great program. We had two morning sessions that we focused on a couple of different topics, taking a look at the upcoming election, which is on everyone's mind, focusing on workforce with how to deal with apprenticeships, internships, and how businesses in our community colleges and our universities can work together to make that happen. And then our STAR student program, we recognize 342 STAR students this year, the largest number ever. Really quite an accomplishment to have those young people here with us today, focusing on all of the great things that they're actually doing. And then finally, a chance to honor Governor Bryant, who will go out of office at the end of this year after 8 years as governor, 4 years as lieutenant governor, spending time as state auditor in the state legislature, a true public servant for the state of Mississippi.
If people have questions like more information about MEC, what should they do?
It's real simple. It's only 3 letters, MEC, and then .ms. MEC.ms is our website, and you can find out all you need and how to get in touch with us.